we are going to be covering about values, where we need to learn about shadows, midtones and highlights. And in case you want to know that why does an artwork look realistic or pretty during on 3D, this is the class that you need to attend. Alright, let's get into it. So these are the terms that describe the tonal values of different areas in an image. Now what do we mean by tonal values? So it means how dark or light something appears. Now this might sound very complicated to you, so just to explain it well, let's start from basics. And now as we can see that one part of the cherry is brighter and the other one is darker. Reason being, the light source is on the right side. So it is pretty obvious that the highlight, which is the brightest area, and the shadow, which is the darker area, is present on the left side. So that's the reason we can clearly see the lighter side and the darker side so clearly. So once we have understood this basic thing, so now let's notice the highlights carefully. Can you see this brightest light on the top? This is the highlight. And also notice that around the highlight there will be always the lightest light. So while painting it, we'll just not add a white dot, a white tone of color on the top to depict the highlight. It is very important to also illustrate the lighter side around it to make it appear realistic. So this was about the highlight, and shadows on the other hand means the darkest area of any image, and this is the area which is going to be the darkest. So this part is the shadow area. And now moving on to midtones. So the area in between the shadow and highlight is called the midtone, which is this area. So as you can clearly see, it is neither dark or lighter in shade. So this is what we mean about midtone, which is in between two shades, that is the darker and the lighter shade. Now as you can clearly notice, a darkest area of shadow on the cherry, which is this, and this is called the cast shadow, which is the darkest area of the shadow on any subject. So I hope you understood these basics and the most important elements of art, which is about the tonal values, midtones, highlights and shadows. They all combine and help us in creating a very realistic structure to our flat surfaces or anything 2D, and it converts it into more realistic looking images or paintings. So this is a very, very important component of art. This is it for day one. I'll be waiting for you tomorrow. So get ready with all your art supplies and I'll see you there.